Now, Pope Leo has canonised the first saint from the millennial generation. The pontiff addressed a large crowd at the ceremony at St Peter's Basilica. Carlos Acutis died of leukaemia in 2006, aged just 15. He had set up a website to document miracles. After his death, 2 people claimed miraculous recoveries after praying for his intercession, starting the process towards his sainthood.
He's known as God's influencer, a saint for the millennial generation. Carlos Acutis' connection with young Catholics is clear to see. Last year, a reported 1 million pilgrims visited his tomb in Assisi in central Italy.
Carlos Acutis was very young, but he knew how to effectively use social media to spread the gospel and bear witness to his faith.
Acutis was born in London and grew up in Italy, but he became ill in 2006. Dying of leukemia, aged just 15. His mother describes him as an ordinary child who stood up for others and helped those in need.
I used to play, to have friends, to go to school, but his extraordinary was the fact that he opened the door of his heart to Jesus, and he put Jesus at the first place in his life.
A devout Catholic from a young age, Acutis, the normal boy, loved animals, football and computing. He documented miracles on a website he created, gaining him a global following after his death. Calls for him to be made a saint soon began, but to qualify, you usually need 2 miracles. The first, which led to his beatification by Pope Francis in 2020, involved a Brazilian child said to have been cured of a pancreatic disease. The second, a Costa Rican student who nearly died after a bike accident. Her doctors had given up hope.
Her mother spent an entire morning praying for a blessing before the relics of Carlo, and the girl is now completely healthy.
Although the rules for canonization have been relaxed, it's still rare for a sainthood to happen so quickly, as it now has in Acutis' case. The Church keen to capitalise on Acutis' popularity and stay relevant among a new generation of Catholics.
For more on this, let's turn to DW's Religious Affairs Correspondent Bernd Riegert in Brussels. Good to see you, Bernd. Tell us more about Carlos Acutis naturally, but he was not the only canonisation today.
Yeah, today 2 young men were canonized. Actually, the other one is Pier Frassati, an Italian from Torino who was honored for his charity work for the Catholic Church, but he already died 100 years ago, aged 24, excuse me. And Carlos Acutis, of course, is the first saint who actually died in the millennium in 2006, and that is making him very special. He died at the age of 15. He was nicknamed God's influencer or the cyber saint because he used the internet to promote Eucharistic adoration and to spread the word of the gospel. Although influence a little bit overdone because actually social media and the smartphone came after his death, so he used the old-fashioned websites. Anyway, he has a huge flock of followers around the world, especially in Germany, Italy and Latin America. There are many young people that adore him and follow his teachings, and that is why the Catholic Church also promoted this canonization to get something relatable for young people.
Yeah, the first millennial saint, a tech-savvy saint, Bernd. What's been the response to this very popular, it seems, but a very unconventional canonization?
Yeah, it's very unusual that actually the parents of a saint are still alive when the saint is canonized. So the mother of Carlos Acutis was behind this effort very much to get him canonized. Also the fact that he has so many people that can relate to him because he's in a glass coffin in Assisi, in his sneakers and his jeans. His hands and his face were remodeled, so you can actually see him and touch him. And the church is very eager to have something that people can relate to and to see and to make the belief and the theoretical concept of belief visible. So this is a part of a marketing effort, as you wish, of the Catholic Church to make things more relatable. Carlo Acutis is only one of 10,000 saints that the Church already has, but he is catering to a special audience, to young people, and the young people around the world are coming to Assisi now to see his grave and to pray to his relics.
So Pope Leo is our current Pope, but what role did Pope Francis play in advancing Carlo Acutis towards sainthood?
Yeah, late Pope Francis was very much behind this canonization because he said Carlo Acutis is a next door saint, and we need more people like him to make the Catholic Church more attractive to young people. So he was behind that. And of course, Carlo Acutis had a special relationship to Saint Francis of Assisi. He wanted to be laid rest there, and he also engaged in charity and work for the poor. And of course, Pope Francis was named after Francis of Assisi, so there's also a connection here. And Pope Leo took this effort further, and of course he did not deny this. This is a huge marketing effect for the Catholic Church, and so he's going through with this canonization.
On an historic day for the Catholic Church, DW's Bernd Riegert in Brussels. Thanks so much.
I'm now joined by Massimo Faggioli, Professor of Theology and Religious Studies, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences in Dublin. Professor, kindly tell us more about Acutis. How did he manage to reach sainthood so quickly after death?
Well, because in the Catholic Church, there's a growing interest in whatever can call back young people, millennials, in the Catholic Church. And so the story of Carlo Acutis captured the imagination of church leaders because he died very young. He was very good at using the technology, the internet, social media. But particularly, he was very fond of very traditional, pious practices, devotions, especially to the Eucharist. And so it's this mix of modernity, technological modernity, and very traditional Catholic piety that has made him a perfect candidate to call to young people, millennials, or Gen Z even, to come back to the Church.
I'm curious, what are the responses you've seen or heard to this somewhat unconventional canonization?
Well, it's early to tell. Clearly, this has made church leaders very happy, enthusiasts about this. Canonization, masses, or ceremonies like today don't tell us much about the future fortune of this new saint, because a new saint means that there's a devotion to him. But clearly, it's one of the signs of our times. The Church who chooses to take a risky action, because canonize a person who died so young is kind of risky, is not usual. But it's one of the bets that the Church has to make to look to the future.
You touched on this slightly, but I want to dig slightly deeper. What does Acutis' canonization say about the Church's effort or willingness to adapt to the 21st century and to reach out to young people? Well,
the Church usually knows very well what's going on in the realm of technology, of the media, and it has its own time in using them and adapting to them. Acutis is the model, because every saint, when he's canonized, is a model for how young people should not be afraid of using new technology, new media, without losing touch with the tradition. So that's the mix. Catholicism is made not of either or, but of both and. And so in this case, is both technological modernity and very traditional piety.
That is Massimo Faggioli, Professor of Theology and Religious Studies in Dublin. Many thanks to you, sir.
Thank you.
They've come to see him. Pilgrims from all over the world. Buried here in Assisi, Carlos Acutis has been canonized by Pope Leo. Carlo was a contemporary millennial. Such a saint fascinates even young Catholics. Lucia and Gloria travelled from Sicily to visit his grave.
Tutti lo ammirano.
Everyone admires him, and we always pray for his blessing. Carlos Acutis was very young, but he knew how to effectively use social media to spread the gospel and bear witness to his faith.
Assisi, located in central Italy, is known as the pilgrimage site of St. Francis. In recent years, however, more and more believers have also been coming to worship Carlos Acutis. Acutis was born in London in 1991 and grew up in Milan, the son of a wealthy family. He spent many summers at their vacation home near Assisi, where he discovered his faith in Jesus. He then became ill with leukemia.
My fate is to die.
And passed away at the age of 15. Carlos' mother shares how he created his first website at the age of 11 to guide people to the Catholic faith and spread the gospel.
He recognized the internet's great potential early on. It has a dark side, but it also has a positive side. For instance, he created exhibitions on his website, showcasing miracles of the Holy Communion.
A saint with a living mother who can prove his miracles. That's a sure way to attract media attention.
Every day we hear stories of grace and miracles from around the world. The first miracle occurred on the day of his funeral. A woman diagnosed with breast cancer, who was about to begin her treatment, prayed to Carlo and her miracle was granted.
What does the Catholic Church define as a miracle? We asked the Archbishop of Assisi.
When you recognize something that goes beyond the natural laws of healing, you say, that was the hand of God.
It is said that the hand of God worked through Carlos Acutis. This miracle ultimately led to his canonization.
A young girl was hospitalized in serious condition in Milan following a bicycle accident. Her mother spent an entire morning praying for a blessing before the relics of Carlo, and the girl is now completely healthy.
As Archbishop, Domenico Sorrentino is responsible for overseeing Carlos's relics.
This relic is a small piece of Carlo's heart sac.
Catholic bishops all over the world can request Carlos's relics for veneration.
For many believers, contact with the actual body of a saint or specific parts is significant. Many visit to see Carlo's nearly complete body.
Maria de los Angeles has traveled all the way from Mexico with her family.
It's heartening to see young people visiting his grave. He also represents hope for the youth of Mexico, and hope is exactly what we need. This is the rosary with Carlo. His book tells his life story. It covers everything, including how he received his first communion and a summary of his experiences. It's very important to know about his life.
The young saint is a popular subject of religious merchandise.
Today we sell more from Carlo than from St. Francis.
Massimiliano runs a souvenir store in the centre of Assisi.
The sales of his pictures and various objects have increased. This is a new development, and important.
Carlos Acutis has now been officially canonized and included in the Church's register. This means that many more believers may soon make a pilgrimage to his grave.